Are you hungry? Are you always running out of food? After watching this video, you'll go from this to this. Yo, actually make the timestamps this time instead of just putting intro and slapping down on it. A few people from my Discord are dying frequently in the game due to lack of food. And I'm like... Then I think about it. Wait, I only made a video on how to get free food after a certain point and not in the beginning. A while back, I made the video How to Survive 1000 Days, where I talk and go through how you can solve world hunger through the trapping of goats. And in that video, I had a section where I talked about breaking the wall. I said in the video that breaking the wall was what you need to do in order to start the process of solving world hunger. All I said was that breaking the wall in that video was to repair the 3rd runes of light. I didn't really explain anything else or give you some tips to even get to that point. So that's what this video is for. I'll explain to you how you can get enough food in the early game to get to the 3rd runes of light so you can have unlimited food and never worry about food again. And I mean ever. In the game, there is a decay timer on all your foods that can expire. A way to counter this is to just not pick up the food from the ground. The timer only starts once you have picked up the food. I know this is very unrealistic, but this is a way to beat the food decay timer in the game. This also applies to cooked food as well. If you cook your food and leave it on the ground, it will not disappear because the game counts the food as new and it isn't picked up. In the early game, you won't have access to a refrigerator pot, so this is a way to keep your food lasting forever until you pick it up. If you don't have storage space for your food, just cook it, leave it on the ground to free up some space, and then pick it up when you need it because it won't go anywhere. With the addition of missions in the game about 2 weeks ago, you can complete missions to earn rewards. I've been using these missions and their rewards, and I can say this system is very beneficial to your survival. For example, killing the first boss will grant you a big beef jerky. When you have completed the mission, the rewards won't go instantly to your inventory. Instead, they stay inside the reward system awaiting for you to claim it. So the rewards stay inside the reward system indefinitely and will not go away if you claim it. Basically, a free refrigerator pot and on the go. You can claim the food rewards if you're caving and you're missing some food to continue the trip. You can also save up space in your inventory by not claiming it right away. Another way you can get food is through trading with the food merchant. There's a high chance you won't get the food merchant, which is pretty unlucky, but if you do, try to save your sticks or branches. Most of you already know, but if you don't, here's a quick summary. When trading with the merchants, they will actually accept staff as currency, no matter what they want. Knowing this, you should probably try to save your sticks for a chance that you will find a food merchant to trade with for food. I have a few ways you can save sticks. The first way is to only use your fire pit. To light the fire pit, you only need 1 log, which is 1 tree. To make a campfire, you will need an additional 2 sticks, which in trading terms is a lot. For the rest of the time that you have the fire pit, try to only use that to cook with. Or an alternative would be those fire pits that randomly spawn above and below ground. The second way is to not craft your own torches. You may be thinking, wait, what? But I need torches to weaken shadow monsters. Yes, very true. But of course, there's another solution to that. Try to only use the torches that are hung on the walls in caves. Luck will have a huge play in that situation, but any cave I go into, I usually find 1 or 2 branches on the wall. When you're hungry and your hunger bar is red, do not panic. There are 2 types of hungriness and they mean different things. The first is called hunger, and it pops up as soon as your bar turns red. This stat is not much to worry about because the only negative effect of this is that it will stop your natural healing. The second is called malnutrition, and it proceeds after a few turns of having hunger. This trait you should probably worry about. The text reads, occurs if you stay hungry for too long, decreases attack and HP. So this trait has heavier consequences than the last trait. So what should you do about this? If you have the hunger trait, you shouldn't eat just yet, unless you need the extra healing. If you have the malnutrition trait, you should probably eat since you'll be taking damage and also your attack stat decreases. This is not the best trait to have when you're fighting some monsters. When you're caving or exploring the land above, you're mostly going to run into 1 or 2 mystery boxes. When you interact with the boxes, it will give you options of claiming your reward on the spot or paying/watching an ad to guarantee your chances of a good reward. With a 100% chance of a good reward, you probably shouldn't give it up. Good rewards include a variety of things, but the things we're after is food, specifically cuisine. Cuisines are cooked food that heal a large portion of your hunger bar. Watching an ad gives you the chance of getting some free food, and there aren't any requirements needed except 30 seconds of your time. Also, if you love the game, you can support the developers out directly. When exploring the above ground, you will naturally come across foods that are in the ground, like fruits and vegetables. Using the tip before, if you don't need it, just pick it up and then leave it on the ground. Okay, that doesn't make any sense. You have to actually interact with it twice to pick it up. The reason for plucking the vegetable or fruit from the ground is that you will start the respawn timer for the plant. Every plant in the game has a respawn timer, and after a while, the food will respawn back. You should pluck every plant on the map, and you can leave it there on the ground if you don't need it yet. Also, clear every tile on the map so that there is more available space for the plants to grow. I don't exactly know how much time is needed to pass in order for plants to respawn, but you get what I'm trying to say. If anyone knows how many days is needed for the plants to respawn, help us please! Also, you can join my Discord and say it there. With every step you take, your hunger bar will take an effect. So you should carefully plan your next steps in order to not waste any hunger that you have. I remember when I would not know what to do at all and wandering around and wasting all my hunger. So take a few steps to think about your next steps. This tip correlates with the last tip. Having your structures in a way that won't waste as much time walking will save you a bit of hunger. So basically, don't put your structures like this. Have it like your foundry is here, and right next to it should be a box full of ores. This tip won't matter unless you're really trying not to waste any hunger. In the game, there are certain totems that can help you out in the hunger department, like strong digestion totem. Hunger recovery increased and energy recovery is scaled to hunger. This totem is normal rarity, so I assume everyone has it. There's also the gatherer totem. I think this totem gives you a high chance of getting food from cutting grass? Not sure. But there are other survival totems out there that should help you out in the food department. If you want more totems but don't know how, check out this video I made about how to farm totems. I assume most of you have killed at least 10 rabbits in the game and notice that they have always had a 100% drop chance for meat. Well, this is also true for other animals, just at a lower chance. So at whatever chance you get to see an animal, just kill it in its place. One time I killed a rat and it dropped me meat. Yeah, so if a rat can give me food, anything else above that can as well. I assure you that the meat the animal drops gives more hunger than you trying to kill it. So every chance you get to kill an animal, always do it. In the game, temperature is also a factor that plays in your hunger. If your temperature is too high, your hunger bar will deteriorate at a fast rate. Same thing goes for if your temperature is too low. You're gonna mostly face the high heat problem in the early game, which is due to having to go to the third Rings of Light, which is located in the dense jungle, a hot place. A good way to stay cool is to make clothes that have the coolness trait on them. You can also hide under trees to shade yourself from the sun. I made a video on how to beat the dense jungle, so check that out for a full guide. Well, that's it from me. I hope you guys can use these tips to stay alive longer and not suffer from hunger as much as you did before. Let me know in the comments if this video helped or not. Hey guys, me from the future here. Yo, that's pretty good. All right, thank you guys for subscribing. Very nice.